Heyo! Welcome back to Broken Sword, the Smoking Mirror Remastered Edition. This is Jiggly-Gut, and the last time we escaped from the docks with Nico in tow and discovered a clue or two that led us to this rather charming city in South America, where we've got General Gracias over here with this smug, shit-eating grin. We also ran into the Hendersons. But right now we're going to talk to Ronaldo over here and see whether we can get either out of the country or Miguel out of jail.
Hi, I'm George Stobart.
Hello, senor. How can I help you?
Well, let's talk Turkey. Let's talk the eclipse.
You know anything about this eclipse?
No, senor. El General keeps me in the dark about most things.
Do you recognize this statue?
Tezcatlipoca. The night wind. Take it away, senor. That stone is cursed.
Would you like a gourmet dog snack biscuit?
I would love one, senor. But I would have a problem with my teeth.
Toothache?
No, senor. If the General catches me eating on duty, he'll knock them out.
Oh shit.
I'm trying to get out of Quaramonte.
If I had $1 for every time I heard that, I'd be able to buy back half my family.
Never mind them. What about my visa?
We don't take visa.
I didn't ask if you take a visa. I want you to give me a visa.
I can't help you, senor. I don't understand these things.
Really?
Are there any ancient pyramids near Quaramonte?
Si, senor. But it's not very impressive. It's in ruins.
That's perfect. Would you be willing to give a guided tour of the ruins?
I can't. The General would have a fit if I left all this paperwork.
I'd like to visit your prisoner.
Condemned prisoners aren't allowed visitors.
Condemned?
To death. He is to be executed. Knowing my luck, I will probably have to shoot him myself.
Amnesty International is going to hear about this. I thought Miguel was arrested for playing the wrong kind of music.
Si, senor, he was.
And that carries the death penalty?
No. You think we're crazy? While being questioned, he confessed to being an anti-government agent.
So long.
Oh shit.
That man we saw talking to the general was Ubier. Didn't you recognize him?
I never met him, remember? The guy I called in Paris claimed to be Oublié, but he sounded nothing like the man in the police station. Maybe the professor really is innocent.
Nah, it's too much of a coincidence that he's here in Quaramonte.
Okay, let's get the fuck out of here.
Why did you show him the stone?
I thought maybe he might know something about it.
Well, he does now, for sure. He knows we have it.
Did you notice that chart on the police station wall?
Yes, it looked like a map to me, but I couldn't make out the details.
Whatever it was, the general didn't want us to see it. You came on a little strong with the general.
I was merely flattering his ego, Georges. Every man has his Achilles heel.
Maybe, but that guy's weakness isn't in his foot. There was a forlorn-looking guy asleep on the floor of the jail. It was Miguel, the pipe player.
Throw a dog biscuit at him. No.
Professor Ubier?
Yes? Who are you?
My name is Stobart. George Stobart. Can you tell me anything about this stone?
Where did you get that?
This is the stone my girlfriend called you about. The stone that nearly cost Nico her life.
I assure you, I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you ever employed a Central American butler or servant?
I've never employed any kind of servant, monsieur.
Take a look at this, Professor. What have you got to say about that?
Where did you get this?
Never mind that. How do you explain these withdrawals?
I left my financial affairs in the hands of my secretary.
Including the withdrawal of funds in cash from your personal account?
I trust Gwyneth implicitly.
And why Marseille? Why the very place my girlfriend was taken?
That's obvious, Stobart. We are both the victims of the same devious plot.
What plot?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
Do you know anything about this eclipse, Professor?
Of course. It's not the reason I'm here in Quaramonte, but I'm looking forward to seeing it all the same.
Do you see this label?
Yes. It refers to a company named Condor. What of it?
I traced that company here to Quaramonte. Do you know where I can find the offices of Condor Transglobal?
The company no longer exists. They went bankrupt recently.
They did, huh?
I have proof that you are directly involved with Condor.
I used them as shippers to transport artifacts to a gallery in Paris. Beyond that, I have no connection with the company, which, as I said, no longer exists.
What's your interest in the eclipse, Professor?
Oh, it's purely a layman's curiosity. History's my subject, not astronomy. But I've been fascinated by the movements of the heavenly bodies since I was a child. I wouldn't miss a total eclipse for the world.
It's about this.
Can you identify this statue, Professor?
Oh, yes. Tezcatlipoca, the Lord of Darkness.
A Central American god, right?
A supreme deity. Tezcatlipoca means, literally, smoking mirror. There. You see the mirror shield in his left hand? The Mayans believed he could look into the mirror and see into the hearts of men. He was the wind which came howling in the night in search of victims. And victims they gave him by the thousand.
Human sacrifices?
Men, women, children, animals, anything that bled. The steps of his temple ran red with the blood of sacrifices. The Mayans have a legend that says he'll return one day. I hope I'm not around to see it.
Does the eclipse have some special significance for you?
From me? No. For the ancient Mayans, it marked the end of the Fifth Age.
Perhaps we should be celebrating.
Ah, no. The end of each age heralds destruction on a global scale. The fifth is the final age, ending in the total destruction of the Earth.
Would you like a biscuit?
No, thank you.
You should, they're good. I can't get enough of these things. Tell me about your wife, Professor.
Please, I don't want to talk about her.
Maybe you don't, but I do. Why was she known as the Little Dachshund?
It was just a silly pet name I used to call her. Somehow some damned reporter found out.
Does the name Karzak mean anything to you?
Yes, I know him. In fact, if it wasn't for Kazak, I wouldn't be here.
What?
He's financing my expedition.
What do you know about my girlfriend's abduction?
I don't know what you're talking about.
She was invited to your mansion in Paris.
Not by me, she wasn't. I haven't been home for nearly 7 months.
It was the guy I'd seen talking to the general. I had nothing else to ask him just then. Do you think the general was involved with Condor?
Hell no. And if he's a general, I'm a Buddhist. No, that fella's just a mouthpiece for the real power in Quaramonte.
So the general is nothing but a puppet?
He's like Pinocchio before he met the Blue Rinse Fairy. Strictly strings and wood.
Who's pulling the strings?
His mother. Better known as La Presidenta, the dictator.
La Presidenta? Okay.
I had nothing else to ask him just then.
Let's see.
Hey, Nico!
Let's go back in here and ask General Gracias about La Presidenta. Yo, Smiley.
Do you have a map of Quaramonte?
A map? I'm sorry, senor, but I don't.
What about the one on the wall?
Ah, that is an archaeological survey map, senor. Not suitable for tourists.
I'll be back. I wasn't going to try investigating the passage while the general was sat there. The television was showing what appeared to be a low-budget soap. A tall man with long blonde hair was shouting at a woman who was naked apart from a towel. I decided to leave the television switched on.
Maybe we can fuck with it outside the antenna or something.
Tell me about the general. You know, the guy in charge around here.
We don't want to talk about him, senor.
How come? No one can hear you. Well, only that old goat.
In Quaramonte we have a saying. Don't tell your old goat what you don't want your wife to know.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
In Quaramonte, defacing a poster was probably a capital offense.
Let's try this window.
Inside the hut was a chair and a small table. Inside the hut was a chair and a small table.
Okay, let's try the guard again.
Nuestra Señora is la Presidenta, right?
Si, senor. The First Lady of Quaramonte.
I guess that's her picture I've seen on the posters, huh?
That's her. Quite a looker, no?
If you like big, middle-aged military women.
Si, senor. I do.
So, what has La Presidenta done for this country, apart from emasculating its music?
Take a look around you, senor. The splendid docks, the walk-in shopping mall, but most of all, she has brought prosperity.
Where?
For the first time in the history of Quaramonte, we have an export trade.
You don't say. Let's try the mining company again.
Do you know Professor Ubier?
Yes. I understand he is about to embark on an archaeological expedition. He hired some equipment from me earlier today.
I overheard him talking to the general. I think they're working together.
What? If I'd known that, I wouldn't have hired out the equipment. Now, why would the general be interested in an archaeologist?
That's all you got to say about that? Shit. Yo, Hawaiian shirt.
There was nothing else I wanted to ask the guy.
Oh, this town's full of dead ends. Can we find anything that way? So this just brings us back around the building. Ah, but the professor is now gone.
It was Dwayne's truck, packed with high explosive, according to that amiable old paranoid. Reminded me of the time I was in Syria, but that's another story. Stealing trucks wasn't my style. Did you find any evidence of Condor's drug smuggling operations?
Drugs? Hell no! Condor was a cover for the illegal export of Mayan artifacts.
Mayan artifacts, huh? Going to say.
So who was behind Condor Transglobal?
It was registered in the name of Edan.
Did you get the guy?
I don't think he ever existed. Edan backwards spells Nady, Spanish for nobody.
Is Miguel the reason you're here?
Pretty smart, George. I was supposed to make contact with him. By the time I found him, though, he was in jail. I've been trying to figure out a way to get him out since then.
Sounds good to me. Count me in.
Good man, George. All I need is a detonator.
How come you brought a truckload of explosives but no detonator?
Call me old-fashioned, but I say packing trunks is woman's work. I left the packing to Pearl, and I can't find a darn thing. Just hope she remembered to bring my denture polish. I'd sure hate to arrive back in the States with tar on my teeth.
Well, I just happen to know where we can get a detonator. Well, we should be willing to part with one. Yo!
Do you have any kind of detonating device in stock?
Sure. They're kept in that cupboard.
I don't suppose you have one spare?
I can't simply give you a device like that, no without a damn good reason.
The General has a chart in his office, which he was discussing with Ubier.
Perhaps that chart will tell us where they're heading.
Maybe, but I can't get anywhere near it while the General and his sidekick are there.
Hey!
Detonator.
Stay out of that cupboard.
I had nothing.
Damn it. Maybe Nico will be a good distraction.
Have you met the guy who calls himself the General?
No, I haven't. Is he a real general?
I guess so. He wears a lot of medals on his chest. The wrong side of his chest. At least for any army I'd ever seen. I hear you drove all the way to Quaramonte. In a truck.
That's right. You would not believe the state of some of those roads. Makes me downright sad to think there's still some places you can't reach in an automobile. In this day and age, you'd think there'd be decent highways just about anywhere folk choose to go.
Did you know that the truck was full of explosives?
Whatever gave you that idea, as if I couldn't guess?
Your husband. He was exaggerating, wasn't he?
Sometimes I wonder how I'm gonna cope with Dwayne's over-fertile imagination.
Do you know where I could buy a detonator?
Did Dwayne put you up to this by any chance? Oh, I get it. This is to detonate the truckload of explosives, right?
Hey, come on, I was kidding. Did you think I was serious?
I know what you boys are like when you get together and make plans. Dwayne says he could solve all the world's problems if he had enough missiles.
Catch you later, Pearl.
Yeah, that sounds like an American.
Hey, Nico!
Let's see if Nico will lend herself as a distraction.
There was nothing else I wanted to talk to Nico about at that time.
Damn it.
I'd asked him all I'd wanted to for now.
Oh, shit. Yo, Ronaldo.
I had nothing else I wanted to ask him.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Senor. Leave that child alone.
I didn't have time to get sidetracked by playing computer games. I had no need for junk mail, especially someone else's.
Okay, shit. Let's take a stock of the items we got. Lipstick, a dart, doggy snacks. Maybe he's finally awake.
There was a forlorn-looking guy asleep on the floor of the jail. It was Miguel, the pipe player. It was one of the...
Make a noise.
Stealing trucks wasn't my style.
Yo.
I had nothing else to ask him.
Okay, what about the guy known simply as Man?
Why don't you want the general at your party?
Because if he comes, he'll bring those damned music albums from the 70s.
Okay. Well, shit.
Go away!
Oh, you're still annoyed. Okay.
I had nothing else to talk about.
Oh, fuck.
It was a portrait of La Presidenta.
Can't scroll on it with lipstick. Damn.
You change your mind. You want to buy cabbages after all. How many you want? 2? 3?
None.
Don't come crying to me if you die of scurvy.
He wasn't going to be any help.
Nico!
Could you distract the general while I took a look at that chart?
You're kidding. Did you see the way he was leering at me?
Yeah. You'd make a great snake charmer. Come on. 5 minutes is all I need.
Well, maybe. But it's your harebrained scheme. You do the talking.
Okay, so we had to come out here to talk to her about Groovy. Figured we could count on her. Yo, Guy Smiley.
My girlfriend has a favor she wants to ask you, General.
For you, my dear. Anything.
I've changed my mind.
Oh, no, you haven't. She's embarrassed about asking you for an interview, General.
An interview with me? Fabuloso!
Well, I want to write a story about you.
You hear that, Ronaldo? An exclusive glossy spread about your beloved general.
Si, Signor General.
Look after things here. I'm going back to my apartment and I don't want to be disturbed.
I'll get you for this, George Stobart.
Don't worry. If you're gone for more than a couple of hours, I'll come and get you.
A couple of hours?
I had no need for junk mail, especially. I decided to leave the television switched on.
What about that
The safe was undoubtedly locked.
Okay, let's take a look at the chart then. Or is Redondo going to give us a...
No, 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 Signor. The General said nobody must see that chart.
He won't know unless you tell him.
You don't know him, Signor. He will worm it out of me as easily as he de-waxes his ear.
Okay. I'd have to get rid of him. Would you take my friend to the ruins now the General's gone?
I'd be honored, Signor.
Thanks. I'll go get her.
Alright. Another distraction coming right up.
I've made the arrangements for your visit to the temple, Pearl.
Oh, that's just great, George. Why don't you come too, honey?
I'd love to, but right now I have to save the world.
Listen, sweetie. I'm looking for an official guide to take me to the old pyramid.
For a lovely lady, I would go to the ends of the earth. For you, I will go as far as the pyramid and back. But what about your husband?
What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Let's go, Beanpole.
Get out of here, droopy dog.
As Pearl and Ronaldo set out for the ruined pyramid, I prepared to search the police station. The filing cabinet was probably locked. A filing cabinet stood in the corner.
Okay, can we pick the lock then? No? What about the safe? No?
The safe was undoubtedly locked.
Okay, what about this computer? Can we play with that?
Uh-oh. Not such a good idea.
Why? What did we do?
I didn't have time to get sidetracked by playing computer games.
Okay, pull down the chart.
It looked like a geological survey map showing the land to the southeast of Quaramonte City. About 60 miles inland and upstream was an area marked Teoculcan. I didn't have time to get sidetracked by playing computer games.
Okay, let's go down here and talk to Miguel.
It was a length of rope, knotted in a hangman's noose. I'm George Stobart. You're Miguel the musician, aren't you?
Ex-musician, senor. My career is finished.
Going to jail could be the boost your career needed.
Senor, I would rather die than live with this shame.
Well, tell me about Karzak.
Have you heard of a guy called Karzak?
Yes. The old man spoke of him.
The foreigner? Professor Oubier?
That's right. This man Karzak is Ubier's boss.
Why is that noose hanging from the bars?
Ronaldo strung it up for me to hang myself. Don't cry for me, Senor Stubbard. When I am dead, the goddess will take my soul to rest in paradise.
Well, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to take the noose.
I couldn't reach the noose.
Can we go in the cell?
He wouldn't be interested.
Well, pants. Where do they keep the keys? Perhaps our friend Dwayne can run us down to this other town.
I had nothing else to ask him.
Yo, you two.
I had nothing else to talk about.
Okay, fine. We'll hit up the mining place again.
I got a good look at that chart in the police station. It's a map of Quaramonte.
Does it tell us where Ubier is heading?
Yeah, a place called Teoculcan.
That's the site of the mine. I wonder why they're being so secretive about Ubier's plans. One thing's for sure. If the general's involved, they're up to no good. I'd like to talk to that musician Miguel. Take the detonator and get him out of that jail.
Well, thank you very much. Okay, finally. Half an hour in this podung town and I'm getting somewhere. All right. Okay, Dwayne, I got your detonator.
Here is the detonator, Dwayne.
Keep your voice down, George. You want everyone to know. You'd best go and warn Miguel that the U.S. cavalry's on the way.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
There was a forlorn-looking guy. It was Miguel.
What, he's asleep again? Really? Ah! Fine, let's go through the front door. Some more facts coming through.
Hey, Miguel.
What is it? What is happening?
We're getting out of here.
Who's we? They've sent the Delta Force?
Nope.
The Impossible Missions Force?
Don't make me sick. Much better.
Who then?
A retired greetings card salesman from Ohio.
I'm doomed.
You're not the only one.
I should have known you'd be trouble the moment I saw you.
Look, I can explain everything.
Get in that cell, now.
And what if I refuse?
He'll shoot you.
Okay, here I am, going quietly into the cell.
Oh, great.
Very wise, not Americano scum.
One of the reasons I hate guns so much is the way they make people so damned impolite.
I hope you're enjoying your vacation, Senor Stobart.
Go polish your weapon, Ronaldo.
This was part of your plan, right?
Well, in a manner of speaking, no. I was all out of ideas. It was up to Nico now.
So, here we are.
You've changed.
I thought I would slip into something more comfortable.
The stench of cheap cologne rolled over me like tear gas.
So, what do you want to know about me? Ask and I will answer. I will deny you nothing.
Nothing, you say.
I am a very giving person.
How nice for your friends.
Your eyes are glittering like stars.
His damn cologne was making my eyes water. I was running out of sofa.
As spirited as you are beautiful, I admire that.
As long as he admired it from afar.
Okay, well, I think we'll leave it here for now. This has been Jiggly-Gut with Broken Sword, The Smoking Mirror, Remastered. And join me next time, and we shall interview Mr. Smiley General Gracianto and observe the portrait of his mama. Until then, see you later. Ciao, arrivederci, au revoir, peace out.